Hey there, Rivet crew. Happy Thursday. Got a good workout for you today. We're looking at a 20-minute AMRAP. This is going to challenge your muscular endurance, and it's really going to work on midline strength, right? We're working the front with some sit-ups. We're working the back with some kettlebell swings. It's a good workout. So 20-minute AMRAP, the goal is to accumulate as many calories as you can across the course of the 20 minutes. Make sure you do not reset your monitor on your rower, right? Just leave it. So row, leave it, keep coming back to it. Try to accumulate as many calories as you can. And the thing that's going to slow you down a little bit is every 2 minutes you have to get off the rower and do something else, as you can see. Either 21 AbMat Sit-ups or 21 kettlebell swings. Ideally, the sit-ups and the swings take about a minute or so, right? So get off the rower, do that for a minute, get back on the rower for about a minute or so, again, cranking out those calories. Choose a kettlebell weight that you see yourself probably going unbroken all those 5 rounds as much as possible. Same thing with the AbMats. Choose a rep scheme there. If you need to go a little bit lower, again, try to keep it about a minute, right? So we have about a minute of the other stuff and then a minute for the row. Let's talk about those movements, all right? I got a rower behind me. Let's talk about that real quick. Couple tips here. First off, I'm often encouraging people to practice rowing without the straps on because workouts come up sometimes where it's really handy to not have to rely on the straps. This is one of those workouts because you're going to be getting off and on the rower quite a bit. We want to do so quickly. So if you don't have to worry about strapping your feet in, awesome, great. But if you're totally not comfortable with it yet, if you haven't practiced, you should practice it more in the future. But for today, just keep those straps relatively loose, right? I don't want to see anybody kind of loosening and tightening their straps throughout the workout. If you get your straps adjusted in such a way, cinch them down and then loosen them up so you can easily slip like a couple fingers in there. This way, you shouldn't have to touch the straps during the workout either. So you can use them, but not have to touch them. So right from here, I can just kick my foot straight up, get right out, get back on the rower, slide them right in. You don't have to touch them at all. There you go. So no straps or loose straps. The other thing is the racing start on the rower. So every time you get back to your rower, the flywheel is going to be completely stopped, right? So that first stroke, all you're doing is basically breaking the inertia of that flywheel. So if you start with one big stroke like this, you're wasting a lot of energy. That flywheel is just going from dead stopped to a little bit faster. So a racing start in the rowing world, the best way to break the inertia, the best way to not waste a bunch of energy is to do a quarter stroke, a half stroke, and then a full stroke, right? This just breaks the inertia, it gets the flywheel moving, you don't waste energy. So every time you get back on the rower, slip those feet in, and we go quarter stroke, half stroke, and then you can start rolling at your normal pace. That makes sense? This is a very efficient way to do this. It's really going to help you in today's workout because you're going to be starting from a dead stop every time. All right, that's rowing. What else we got? Let me get that out of the way. Kettlebell swings and AbMat sit-ups. Let's talk about those kettlebell swings first. So overhead position, we really want to nail that down today. Our overhead position to finish, we should have a nice neutral line, right? Let me adjust my camera here. This is terrible camera work. Sorry about that. So when we swing, right, we drive up overhead, boom. You should have a nice straight line down the side. We have wrist over elbow, over shoulder, over hip. Biggest thing we don't want to do is overarch the back, right? We don't want to send those hips forward. This is often caused by lack of shoulder mobility, right? If we can't get those shoulders all the way open, I can seal a little bit down here, do this. That's not good. That compromises your low back. So if you can go all the way overhead, great, let's go ahead and do that. But if you're one of those athletes who has to kind of do this a little bit to get those shoulders open, don't do it. Just go as high as you can whilst maintaining this neutral spine. That's more important than getting that full range of motion, right? I mean, ideally, hopefully, your mobility will improve over time and it'll get better. So we're looking for bottom of the kettlebell, I should say, facing towards the ceiling at the top, right? Elbows are straight, biceps are right next to the ears. We have that midline locked down, belly's nice and tight. We're squeezing our glutes. This is our top position to go to every single time. We'll focus on really nailing that in. And then another tip about that one, this is a relaxed position in the kettlebell swing. It's a really good place to breathe. So at the top, figure you're kind of weightless for a moment there. You can kind of relax everything just a second. You can exhale, relax here, and then inhale, brace before the bell comes back down, stay tight. Exhale here, inhale and brace. So at the top, great spot to breathe. And if you can control that breathing during these bigger sets of kettlebell swings, the chances of you actually getting through those bigger sets of kettlebell swings is much higher, right? So control that breathing, exhale at the top, inhale, brace before coming back down into your swing. Beautiful. What have we got next? AbMat sit-ups. Similar movement pattern, right? We're extending the arms up overhead, much like a kettlebell swing with our AbMat sit-ups. Let's also try not to overextend here, right? When we extend over our AbMat, we want to make sure we're keeping the midline locked down, just like with our kettlebell swing, right? Rib cage pulled down towards the hips with our abs braced. It's easy to kind of relax the bottom of the sit-up and overextend, and then again, we get that kind of nastiness on the low back. So keep your hips pressed down into the floor, your backside, your glutes pressed into the floor, belly nice and tight. As we extend over, right, so this overhead position should look very much the same as your kettlebell swing, right? Ribs pulled down towards the hips, belly nice and tight. We're not overextending that back. All right, so 20-minute AMRAP, get as many calories as you can, get off the rower every couple minutes, do some sit-ups, do some swings. What's not to love? We'll see you at the gym.